Hi, my name is Jeff Combs, Aerosport Products, and we're here today to show you how to wrap your headliner with some automotive headliner material. This is one of the fiberglass headliners from Aerosport Products for the RV10, and it's thin layers of fiberglass that have been molded. We scanned the actual overhead or the cabin top, turned it into a fiberglass mold, and then we lay these up. They work pretty well. Very simple to do. It's a pretty straightforward process how it's done. What we're going to do first is I've taken this is a headliner material. It's automotive. You can buy some of this in a few colors at Joann Fabrics or one of the fabric stores. We actually are going to be offering it in different colors to match what you might need. And it's about a 3/16 inch worth of foam with a scrim material on there, which is actual headliner material they use in a lot of automobiles today. What I've done is I've taken my fiberglass part and trimmed to fit into into your airplane, and we leave about from where it would hit an edge here. This is would be another vertical edge in the cabin top. You want to leave about an 1/8 inch to 3/16 of an inch around your front leading edge here of your fiberglass piece. And also, if you have an overhead console in it, you'd want this to be back about probably just an 1/8 of an inch, maybe 3/16. And then your windows, we actually trim the windows out right to the size of your actual window fiberglass trim out. Is where we've trimmed these out, and they seem to work pretty well, because what we'll do once it's all put together, we will actually put a trim edge all along the window, inside the window, and that trims off the inside of the window real nice. And as you can see, I've got the fiberglass piece that's trimmed, and I've cut my headliner material. I've left about 1.5 to 2 inches of material all the way around it, just some excess material, so when we put it on and you want to fold it over, and you'll actually bring it around to the back side of the fiberglass liner is what we're going to do. We're going to use you can just use a headliner or carpet adhesive. You can buy it at your local hardware, or not hardware, your automotive store. This is made by Permatex here. They have 3M makes some. That's what they had when I went to buy some. And what we'll do is you want to put about 2 or 3 coats on each surface, the fiberglass and on the back of the foam. Let it sit for about 5 or 10 minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll start laying it out on the fiberglass. Once we get it adhered to the main surface, then we'll actually turn it over, start wrapping the back, and I'll show you some techniques for how to do the corners and around the windows and stuff like that. And then the final process we'll do is we'll actually show you. We'll put the edge binding on around the internal portion here to finish off the window for you. The first thing I'm going to do here, which we're not going to videotape, is we're going to just put some glue. We're going to get enough glue on here. Just follow your instructions on your can. You want to put it on both surfaces though, and then you're going to want to let it sit about 5 minutes. So we've put 2 to 3 layers. I think we've got 3 coats of adhesive on our headliner material and on our fiberglass substrate. Now what you want to do is you want to get it lined up, and remember you've put about 2 inches around it on all sides, so you want to get that aligned. It's easier if you have somebody help you, and I've got Rob here who's going to help us real quick. We're going to kind of just align to show you a quick technique to do this. What we're going to do is we're going to line just the edge up on this here. Like go here, we're going to lean it there. Come this way a little bit, Rob. Right about like, let's see here. What we've done is we've aligned that edge, and now what we're going to do is we're going to just roll this. We'll turn it this way so you can see, and we're going to start, and we're just going to start to roll this. This will it'll kind of hold its position now. And we're going to just start here. And then we're just going to smooth it out real easy along the substrate as we roll it across on the table. One thing you want to make sure is you don't have any glue or dirt when you're doing this, because if you get on the headliner, you're going to have to start all over again. So I think that's got it. If you look now, we have our headliner is, the material is on our fiberglass piece. And what we're going to do is start to wrap it. First thing we're going to do is we're going to trim this off a little bit. I'm going to trim these back to about 1 inch now with a pair of scissors. This edge along here, you're going to need to probably cut this about 1/2 inch. That's your leading edge. What we'll do also now is we're going to trim out the window. To trim out the window, you just want to pop through and cut. Now you want to leave yourself here at least 1 inch around the window, a little bit more. What we're going to do next is we're going to go put some adhesive. We're going to overspray a little. You can usually adjust your spray tip on your spray can if you buy one. It usually has a, some of them have a small, medium, and the high fan width. Turn it down to small, and you want to go about 1 inch up onto your substrate, your fiberglass, and then cover the edge again. Put one more coat all around this, and that way will give us a glue surface to start wrapping the edge. Once again, we've trimmed it. We've left about 1 inch. Some places the front edge you can leave 1/2 inch. You could cut the bottom flush if you want along the window edge. If you have something going up, you wouldn't have to do that. But the problem with that is it doesn't pull. You could actually pull it away from the substrate, and then you could get a wrinkle in there. We recommend, what we do is we'll actually pull this, turn it up, and then we'll trim it back to just over under 1/2 inch, probably when it's all done with a nice X-Acto blade or a razor blade. And we'll show you that process also. So the first thing we're going to do is we're actually just going to start here. We're going to just take our edge. First of all, what we'll do, we're going to start with the bottom edge. I'm actually going to make a couple cuts right here. If you can see this, we're going to make a little cut. You want to leave about don't cut all the way to the substrate. You want to leave about 1/4 inch of area when you cut. That way you won't see the cut when we pull it over. And what we're going to do here is we're going to do another cut. We're going to leave a little flap right here. This is going to finish off the corner bead, the corner edge pretty good. We're going to cut this till we have basically about a little 1/2 inch piece right here. And then we're going to have our, as you can see how I've done this, we're going to start there, and we're going to go down here and do the same thing here, and this will get us started. Okay, this is the outside corner. You can see to start, what you want to do is you want to cut leave about 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch wide strip. We're going to make a cut and leave about 1/4 inch from the part. And you can see that. But then this piece gets pulled over taut, just like that. That does your corner. The next thing you want to do when you fold this up, you can see how this needs to be trimmed back, so we're going to cut this back at an angle. There again, about 1/4 inch away. We're going to need to trim a little bit more on that. And then on this corner here, you see we're gonna cut this back. If you roll this over, you can see we're gonna cut an angle, just like that. So we're gonna go here. We're gonna Start about 1/4 of an inch away from the substrate. Cut back. And we're just going to roll that up to there, and then it finishes off your corner real nice, and then you can just roll the rest of your material up. And that's how you do an outside corner. Okay, so we have this. What we're going to do now is we're going to pull this up and pull it taut and bring that over, and then that's stuck now. Then we're going to pull this up, and we're just going to start wrapping this up along the edge. And as you can see, we're going to have a little overlap, so I'm going to make this angle a little greater. And then we're going to continue our wrapping just around the edge. We're going to start cut a little pull tab, I guess as I call them here. And then we're going to snip about 1/4 inch away again. Cut a good angle on these. And we're going to pull our corner over. Don't pull it so tight that you pull the material through the fiberglass through the material. And then we're going to leave this. Oops, we've got to cut this one here. We're going to cut this one back. And then what we're going to do is start folding this over. We want to keep our curve. Don't pull your curve out straight. Keep the curve in the part. And as you can see again, if you look at this, we have a little overlap. We're going to cut this angle back a little bit more from where we started and cut it back to match that angle. And we have a real nice turned edge right there. And we're getting down to the end again, to the corner. What we're going to do is we're going to cut our little tab here. Now this has a little rounded corner here, so we're going to make the tab a little bit wider. And then we're actually going to cut another, we're going to make 2 cuts. We're going to cut another, so we're going to have 3 tabs here. And then we're going to cut this one back a little bit here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to pull our first tab over, our second tab over, and then we're going to start, and you can see this, what we're going to do is we're going to trim these tabs a little bit here. The center one, I'm going to trim this back. It's a little wide here. Okay, doing a little close up here. We've got our 3 pieces here. We're going to pull the center section up, pull our next one up right next to it. The third one is right there, and then we're going to pull this up taut right there. And so you can see how we finished off the corner. And then this one here, as you can see, we're overlapping just a hair. We're going to cut this back, this angle back from about 1/4 of an inch back a little bit more. And then this will roll and finish off. And so we have a nice corner. We don't have any overlap in that corner. And now we're working into the inside corner. On the inside corner, what we're going to do is we're going to make a couple cuts again. We're going to make one right in the center almost, about 1/4 of an inch away. And then we're going to make another one here.